What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nookster here today. Today I'm playing Sleeper Session 2, Starward Vector. This is the demo of the game. I've played the first game. I really liked it. So I'm playing the demo to see how it is. Because I'm really hoping it's really good, like the first one was. So let's begin. Here we'll play Risky. Now we get to choose our class. Let's look at the first one. So first one, the Machinist. Machinist sleepers are built to repair and modify automated system used in corporate resource extraction. Machinists are very skilled engineers, but their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skill allows them to focus on a single task and boost their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Operator sleepers are built to work with drones and remote machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from a distance. Operators have expertise in working with interfaces, computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skill allows them to hack their own systems to reroll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Extractor sleepers are built to work at the coal face of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but the confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Right. Rally. Occur stress to boost your crew dice. Rally config +1 stress and +2 to lowest crew dice. Reboot. Crew stress to reroll your action dice. Reboot config +1 stress. Reroll lowest dice. And focus. Occur stress to focus on action dice. Focus config +1 stress +2 and focus lowest dice. Stress focus on dice pot outcome. I think I will go with this is a hard one. They've changed it in the first one. I don't know if I could even do this one, because in the first game you could end up at, like, when you get close to the end, just having all of these boosted up, but it does not look like that. I'm gonna go the extractor. Unknown. In the moment before waking, the dark space before consciousness thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Usually these pieces come with particular cadence, each appearing sequentially, like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then its context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. That emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bring with it the first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered among all of that disarray. Only one familiar thing arrives, the fear. It is scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong, something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper, the voice is whispered in your ear, an act that makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted. One person sleeping until their debt is worked away, their double being made to work to be consumed and eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, emotion, emulation, a sleeper, that is what you are. But you escaped. Your remember that now. Broke free of your corporate creators, SNARP, in search of your future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know that fear has been with you ever since you did. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Pale eyes and a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear. When you recoil from it instinctively. Sorry to interrupt. A sharp smirk. But this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, and gave you a purpose. You try to look away to the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body does not respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters. This object you have known for a long time, stabilizers. The drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the vial fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial. What would be wasted on you now? After what you have done to this body of yours, he looks at you with a palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you. Those that were meant to free you from your dependence from the stabilizer and the controller grants Lane. They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut 'em up, Lane barks from the command, and you hear the sounds of impact, of pain from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker. The twitch of a finger, you feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscles. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker. When I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now you aren't free. You are just broken. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard. You feel a jolt of reaction. You willed the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I'll try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation. You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently plugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey! He waves a hand in your dazed face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. And loops a cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, let me out here. You blink slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on. He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you were in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on a possibly bright screen-filled street beyond. In the corner you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move! You are wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in all the brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Oh! You come to stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you here, pausing, catching his breath, he doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your face. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember that station runs hot, something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eye. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes sweat from his forehead and it floats away in a swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Who are you? You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, Sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waiting for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells, shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sounded out, you didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He's speaking quietly to himself when they interrupt the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. And as you lead through and as you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Dark Side feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowd. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body at a constant. Then Lane, those pale eyes, offered you a glittering vial. Stabilizers. The promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There your memory fails you, but in the dark behind that moment, the residue of panic, of fear remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Hold. Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubu, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphim, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was a captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We need to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizers. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. I've got it. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you know you can do this. Seraphim kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads, he bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Tutorial. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks, where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks can have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more info in the guide section of the pause menu. You wait a breath and then glide across to the door they were guarding. You look, already panicked, at the tightly sealed door. Its control panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Ooh. Probably break the seal. There's less of a chance of a negative. I'll just break the seal. And neutral outcome. Let's go. You shift to the central access panel and wrench it open. You scan over the mechanism looking for a weakness. Somewhere you hear more shouting. You reach in and grab the main latch, straightening as you bend it outward. The seal releases and you drag the door halfway open. It screeches in its metal frame as you pull. Go, go! Seraphim flies past you through the doorway to the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly guide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig's door and putting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open and you both rush inside. Quickly! Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit. The ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you into a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons on it as he does, talking to himself, come on. The rig's drives rumble into life, and Seraphim slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. Boom. And we're off. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, automatic systems nudged there by the port's docking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard out of dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belts. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphim breaks the silence. We're good. Sleeper? His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked the ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes, looking at the side. We certainly did. He turns, and you see a pained look on his face as if remembering something difficult. Had you said this exact thing to him before? In the same situation? You okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Seraphim reaches up, looking through a set of switches in practiced fashion. Completing the shutdown, you watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize, is just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short, percussive alarm tone from the pilot console. Docking complete. Seraphim kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. He lands, finding the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. He sighs. We need to talk. Seraphim furrows his brows. Not now, Sleeper. We need to forget. He flinches, the word coming out wrong. We need to focus on something other than. He pauses again. Unsure. Us. He sighs. We need to survive this thing first, and then maybe we can talk. Fine by me. Seraphim nods, but the tension remains. We have brought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hagsport, but I do. And there's plenty of opportunity here for us. If we can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main block, and you follow, pulling yourself along hand over hand in zero-G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides. So we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But for you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up an old acquaintance. Any old acquaintances. I'm gonna help myself. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections. People that might throw us any easy contract. He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. Low profile. Got it. Seraphim stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into sleeve. I don't want you passing out in. He stops. I'll be fine. Seraphim drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Seraphim nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. Then a door hisses open and Seraphim glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He takes another look at you, your disguise, and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphim's instinct to look after you. A flash of a wish not lost to the reboot. Now lost. Yeah. Catch. Seraphim throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits. Those should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel, supplies, and grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. Seraphim kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, alright? He shouts as he leaves. Take it slow. And with that, he is gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into the docking concourse of Hexport. You wait for a moment's silence. Think about Seraphim. It's hard to know what's going on inside Seraphim's head. Here he is, on some hapless escape plan with a friend who can't remember a thing about him. You try to imagine how close you both must have been for him to agree to this thing. But it is painful to think about. That's all gone now. Anyway, all you can do is move on. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. And so, the game begins. Tutorial. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. This game runs in cycles during which you can perform actions with your dice, use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can review tutorials anytime in the guide section of the menu. Use the mouse wheel to scroll your view, select locations, left click and right click to leave a location. Continue. Okay, let's see. So the rig, your refrigerator belt, Hexport docks, busy way station dock, export exchange, way station goods exchange. Anything else? No, one of those two. Okay, let's do it. Welcome to the character screen. Here you can upgrade and configure your sleeper. On the left you can upgrade your skills to improve the skill modifier applied to your dice when you undertake an action. To the right you can upgrade your push, the unique ability of your class. When upgrading your push, only one upgrade at each level can be active at once. You can configure which upgrade is active only while at a hub. Oh, I need a drink. Soda. Okay. Let's see. Can I don't think I have any. Yeah, I got 0 points, so I can't do anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so Ooh, they really changed up this game. With I can't increase my intuition. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Let's look at this. No active quests, no completed quests. And my dice. We got a 5, a 6, a 1, a 1, and a 5. Ooh, fun times. Oh. Okay, this is new, and this is cool. At least I think. Okay, let's check out the exchange. Okay, in Citizen Sleeper 2, you can perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed at an action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for the action is displayed on the right, and you will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, and neutral. Each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcome it has. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information on dice action, check the guide. Okay. So we can trade scrap. Trading scrap is also about identifying materials and cleaning components. It's your job more than a trader's. Impress the brokers. The data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing description, maybe we can talk to them. Rules of the exchange. The exchange buzzes with the conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts are found. You just need to look. Okay. And then the export docks. Chat to crews. There are plenty of crews milling around the docks and moving cargo. There should be a good source of info. Explore the docks. Explore the docks are a dizzy mess of buried braided cables and flickering signage filled with busy spaces. Exploring is both thrilling and intimidating. Export connection. Export docks thrum with life. There are contracts to be made here. You are sure it's. I'm gonna throw a 5 on trade scrap. See what happens. And we got 2. You've just progressed a clock. Clocks track your progress towards both positive and negative events, and you can be filled by performing actions or by passing of cycles. Okay. So we did that one. Got some cryo, 0 fuel, and 2 supplies. Okay. Oh, we got a new thing. Export trade hall. Explorations trade markets. Okay. Buy fuel. This depot is the biggest supplier on export, acting as a trading partner for the many small processing plants or of Faction Row. Fill fuel if you have enough cryo. They can fill your fuel capacity in a single order. Buy supplies. The trade hall has a healthy stock of supplies. Stack grown veg, water. Usually some extras are packaged out for the crews coming through. If you have enough cryo, filling supplies, if you have enough cryo, they can fill your supply capacity in a single order. Do I have anything? No. We should go here. Oh, okay, tutorial. The rig is your ship and home to the Starward belt. While the rig is docked to the hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks use dice to reduce stress. Galley use supplies to regain energy. Other locations will unlock as you play. While the rig is in dock at a hub, your crew will also help to gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew action menu to the left. They have a random chance of requiring it at the beginning of the following segment. Okay. This is a cycle clock. It progresses towards but each cycle. Pay attention to these clocks. They can have significant effects. Okie dokie. Bunks in the galley. Crew tasks. Hot jobs. Coffee. Cabins for fuel. Yeah. Bunks. Rest and recover. Sometimes it's necessary to rest, but at least try to in the compact bunks of the rig. This will help you reduce stress. Not on contract. The rig galley. Supplies are typically saved for contracts, but when food isn't really available, you're got to use what you've got to survive. Okie dokie. Go back to the docks. Let's go to the other pylon here and hope. Okay. Oh, we unlocked it. Oh, I did that one. What's this? You have to eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy and stops you starving. Different foods give different amounts of energy. Where can I see my energy? Right here. A Star and Stoker. SNS is a spacer gambling game played with custom magnetic dice. Chits are stashed in simple marked cans, and winning is typically luck-based, and buy a Ben's fry, plastic bag of flash-fried salt-flecked tubers. The Ben's fry brings spacers back to the scattered tables of the bar cycle after cycle. 7. How much does this give me? Let's not do that right now. What I do? I'm gonna throw the 6 on here. Because hopefully this gets 2 when I push this. Okay, finish that. New location discovered. I got some cryo. I believe. What did we discover? The Hexport Canteen. Common trade hall canteen. Eat at the canteen. Most trade halls have a canteen where they prepare their own dishes from packed supplies they otherwise provide. That's it. Let's do this, I guess. There again. Oh, we got a new location. You have used all the dice for this cycle. You need to end the cycle at your ship, the rig, to rest and reroll. What did we unlock? We unlocked the warehouse, freight storage, freight loading. The warehouse at the Hexport docks supply the industrial operations of the station, meaning they need constant loading and restocking. Okay. Well, since I can't do anything else, we go back here. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna throw 3 of these in here. And full energy. Okay. Now we can go and sleep. Go rest a bit. No, not that one. Go back up. And we need to end the cycle. And we end the cycle. The second cycle. Okay. Surfing. We're in trouble, sleeper. Seraphin leans into the berths as you are getting out of your bunk. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift down to the passage, pulling on your clothes and gliding down the length of the ship, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette silently leading the way. He stopped at the far end, diverting through a slide door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the zero-G engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes? Seraphin shrugs. Close enough. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air, and before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling and loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of dark side. He looks at the mess. We are lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, he shakes his head. It would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large, lumping housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it? Seraphin sighs, and that's the short of it. Seraphin whacks the engine housing in, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? And take a look at things here. I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is a place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay, I'll take a look. Seraphim keeps working. Wait. Seraphim pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. He drops the feed lines and then they float. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out to everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. Shit. You said it, Seraphim sighs. Which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improve it so I can improvise a solution. I don't know. He looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Now get out of here. Now, get out of here. You leave the engine room. The clanking sound of Seraphim's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. Nope. You haven't discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objective for Citizen Sleeper 2. Press the arrow button on the top left to open the drive menu and choose which drive to track. Once your drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location on the rights to the drive. Drives come into two types, major and minor. On completion, a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points and a minor rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress to see what new opportunities and objectives are available, and track those you want to pursue. Ooh, okay, let's see what we got. We got a 2, a 3, a 4, a 6, and a 5. Cool. New location. What do we got? Down here, Factory Row. Ramshackle Fabrication Center. Search the row. Factory owners of the row speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the shipper you need. While materials factory row is filled with workers hauling materials through its zero-G corridors, helping might win you some fans among the factories. Okay. First, I want to. Which one can we finish out? That one? I think so. Otherwise, because I think, yeah, the other one's gone. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's put the 5 on it, just so I can most likely get 2 points. Damn it. Yeah, put 3 on it. Okay, we finished that out. Good. Should. Hexport. As you're gliding across the dock concourse, you hear a shuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation drifting out of the dockside shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing those back as they grab at the bag slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphim told you to keep your head down. Well, I'm gonna go with the one that has a 50% positive and 50% negative. So we're gonna rush it. Yeah, let's rush it. Neutral. Good enough. Without thinking, you kick off and glide down the alley, nudging the parabola of your drift to aim directly into the back of the most aggressive assailant. You barrel down the alley, raising your arms for the impact. As you do, your target turns back to face you. You see the flash of impact across their eyes before you slam into them. The assailant grabs onto you as you hit them, and the two of you spin together in zero-G. Kicking and pulling at each other, you manage to get both legs up between the two of you and kick him off into the metal pipes behind. Then something hits you from behind, and the whole alley blurs as you spin forwards. Through the ringing sound of the impact, you hear curses shouted in retreat. You steady yourself, and a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. Don't do that again. The man gives you a severe look, shaking his head at your eager attack. One of those scumbag knifes you? I don't want that on me. What's his name? Feed? F-E-M-I? Stubborn scavenger cat. This game has a really cool art style. So does the first one. He pushes you aside in the corridor and throws a large bag over his shoulders. Yeah, sorry. The man shakes his head. You ain't seen sorry. Just step back, alright? You watch the man go, and then, after a moment, he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down as he does. What is your deal anyway? He sighs. Maybe you're new here, but Hexport is no place for do-gooders. I know what it's like. To get beat up? The man shakes his head. Hexport's got real rough. Look, let's not hang around, alright? The man pats his chest. I'm Fee. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strapped bag over your shoulder and follow it through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridges. He gets down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. Then he stops at a docking bridge, connecting to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Beam, you're bringing in trays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she drifts in the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Nia. Phoebe shakes his head. This one, he squeezes your shoulder. Help me fend off some Hexport's gum while you were busy sunning yourself. Nia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you could handle that, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Theme noticed. Nia turns to you. Thanks, she smiles sweetly. Oh my god, she smiles sweetly. I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance. Just in general. Nia. Theme murmurs. Enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Back to row when to take these. Theme hefts the bags. I'm gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for them. He turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, sleeper. He nods firmly. Not what I expected. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the symbol crash. Nia looks at you with raised eyebrows. Oh, my brother was joking. Would you really help him? I tried. Thank you. She looks back at the ship. My brother needs help more than he admits. It's okay. She pauses, thinking. I want to ask you something. She takes a deep breath, then gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for a crew? She looks away. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you are on Hexport, maybe you are with a crew? She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew. Maybe you are looking? Why do you ask? Nia looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know, but he still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you determined looks. What do you say? I'll think about it. I'm a good salvager, alright? You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps. Weighs in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Beam taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, alright? Let me prove myself. Suddenly, a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Beam. He seems to make both of you nervous. Nia looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears at the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Okay, ship better. Okay. Crew for my ship. We'll do this one. This here, now it's 3. Please be either neutral or positive. Please. Yes! Oh, I need to see something. Slightly too low. Throw this in there. Is that definitely a good one? Got some brow. Good. Continue. Hexport. Hexport. Factory row housed as you walk through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and doors once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Whirring manufactories, precisely engineered components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there's an energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It is familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors. 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport, and that wild, flickering city growing on their back like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels In comparison, Hexport feels provincial. But deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them, tubes just like those Serpent had waved in your face, the feed lines. You push over to the display window of the unit, marked Kernstein Supply in block capitals cut from whole plates. There amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components sit the feed lines, like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, with the sound of Factory Row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench, hunched over and concentrated. It seems he doesn't notice you. Let's wait patiently. Karsten. You let him work, watching as, despite his heavy build, he delicately aligns the components, the letters sliding like puzzle pieces. After a few moments of observing the process, he turns his head a little towards you. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. Just go straight to the point. Those feed lines, how much? There's a sharp clinking as Karsten places his tools and the component against a magnetic plate on the wall. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Karsten's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessment. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking to stray all his stains. You have one of the old Mevs then? He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. So he's old MEVs. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphim should have come along. That's right. Caution odds. Always good to see one of those still running. Look, Karsten's drifts over to where you are standing, his opposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone. Let's say a few hundred cryo on clean shits. He shoots a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. No, 400. Bro, I got 38! Um, 400. 400. Conscious says back, repeating your question without the emphasis. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they are worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself anyway. Barter sounds good. 400 chits, oh my god. Cartston nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and, well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the clock away in a pocket and claps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there. Real old pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it. He shrugs. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering national security protocols when approached by an unfamiliar ship, so it's been left well alone. But a sounder like you, with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. He smiles. I have a special interest, a need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships have a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports and material ledgers, or whatever they kept on the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So if I was to find you back here, oh my god. So if I was to find you back here with that data core in your cargo, old, clean cut and complete, well then I could see my way to doing a straight putter for those feed lines. Carson pauses, sniffs at the air again. You just need the coordinates. Simple as that? Simple as that? He repeats in his monotone. So, you interested? Glances back at his workbench, because I'm a busy man. Yes, I'll do it, because 400 shits, 400 cryo, that's a lot. I'll do it. Alright then, he holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Karsten pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm with what you swear is a wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air, Karsten having returned to his workbench. You turn to glide out of Karsten's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach and the cacophony of factory row in your ears. A contract. Seraphim might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and smile. This could be a bread out. You think of leaving this place behind. Possession of improved ship 2. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back, an equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She stays herself using your shoulder. Sorry. She smiles, a quick and flat smile. Wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flicker around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries something data scrapers call a deck, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. Do I know you? She pauses, confused by the question. No. She pauses again. Karsten, she starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles that flat smile again. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down to the drive and palm command. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back towards Karsten's. I guess he forgot. He does that sometimes. She looks sheepishly at you. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking, so... Karsten's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out. Keep an eye on things. She pauses. I can be pretty helpful. So, she looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship? And you can tell me when you're ready to go? Goonie, a secretive data extract. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? You know, yeah, sounds good. Okay, great. Her eyes light up. She knows she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Judy finished off her ways. Looking forward to working with you. She calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it. She calls back and then disappears down the passage. You watch her go. Glad of the contract, but nervous too. Will Carson keep on the side of the bargain? Seraphin, I don't know about this, Sleeper. Seraphin looks nervously out the rig's windows as you finish explaining Carson's deal as well as Judy's offer of help. If this job is easy, Carson would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch, she frowns at ours. And there's definitely something going on with this Judy girl. He shakes his head. What choice do we have? What if, Seraphin narrows eyes, we could get the cryo together by the feed lines? Is that even possible? I found a contract board in the exchange further in the station. He gestures towards export. We take on a job that might get us most of the way towards buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take Carson's job, we might need to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel, supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not, but without cryo fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Seraphin sighs. Just take a look at the contract board, see what you think. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too. Seraphin shrugs. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around, we take Carson's job right now and get it done before he can think twice, Seraphin yawns. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got to work to do on the drive. Seraphin nods farewell, heading back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment, you pause, letting the haze of the plan's ideas settle in your mind. Suddenly, you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tightly, your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift as if some connection has broken. It's almost impossible to describe, like you are floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There is nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth. And then another shift comes and you are back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb and then a residual flicker. You flex in the zero-G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain, a disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if this is some new sensation you will have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might persevere for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they are yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. New contract. You have unlocked the contract. Open the map screen to view it. Oh, I got points. What could I even put points into? Nothing. Because this needs 4, this needs 4, this needs 4, this needs 4. And that's 2, so I can't do it. What's this? The Swift Scrap Soul Material Processing. Constant Supply. Contract Board. Let's go here. Actually, let's check. Do we have complete board contract? Let's do this. It's a minor one, so. Conway signal. Client export. Type risky. Station management has located a conway signal. They are concerned to see one so close and are looking for someone to disable its source. Oh, 200 cryos. Let's do this. Okay, okay. Just want to check what we have. 5 feet lines, 400 delivered to this, let's see. Data diffusal shift. All scrapyards have data diffusal work to offer. Old tech tends to be laced with protocols and countermeasures that need disabling. Scrapyard shift. Swift Scrap Solutions, on, or Triple S as it's known locally, is a chaotic and slightly terrifying scrapyard where open shifts are always available. Sell raw scrap. Triple S is constantly processing scrap. Factories in the row, they'll pay good money for raw haul rates. So go here. Oh, I probably need fuel to do this. Okay. My guess is Greek engine. Oh, it's probably okay. Oh. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. Contracts require preparation and care to succeed. You'll need to gather enough fuel to travel to the contract, gather as many supplies as you can afford to keep you and your crew going, look for opportunities to recruit crew, temporarily and permanently, to help you on under contract. Consider which crew to take carefully. They have different skills and stress resistance, and who you choose can affect the story. Once you are ready, you can select the contract from the map and your crew, and then your crew to proceed. Okay, so that's the big thing. If I click on this, do I go towards it? Okay, so I do have to. So we need to get fuel. Okay. Buy some fuel. So do I need 4 fuel? Or, okay. Okay. Nope, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Here. So we have 2 fuel. So if I click this, is that? Do I need 4 fuel to cut? You know what? Let's look at the guide. Contracts are high risk, while contract. Uncertain outcomes with the crew stress, but while the contract manager while doing the supply for applied supplies, manager supplies are related both the and the crew. Take 1 stress per cycle contract is off their own. Okay, wait, you know, I'm going to do something that will get me money real quick. Which is this one. This will give me money. 13 cries. We're gonna go here. I'm going to end the cycle. Lose 1 energy, get some dice rolls. I'm going to go here again. I'm going to throw 2 lowest on here and hope they get good outcomes. Neutral. And neutral. Good enough. I'm going to go here. Cinema, I suppose. And then I'm just gonna. Okay, we're going. We're leaving. We're going. Map. We're going to this contract. Confirm. So. We got it. Hold on, I gotta check something. Ah! Wrong buttons. All wrong buttons. So I have engage, endure. None of us have interface. I have 0 intuition, so good for me, I guess. Okay, let's just. Oh, I only get 2. Okay. Let's go. Yep. It's a drone. Seraphin's. Let me get a drink of water first. It's a drone. Seraphin spots the signal source first. The light barely shimmering off its dark hull plating, a design trait that portrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention, and you see a rent in the hull through which red lights pulse. Wounded, Seraphin shakes his head. Wish they finished the job. You've seen one before? Seraphin looks back over his shoulder towards you. We've seen one before. Don't you? He sighs. Sorry, I know it isn't your fault. He looks over at the drone. Lane had us work on one in a Darkside Bay, though it was barely a shell. Disarmament activated. He had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps, and it had its core ripped out. He pushes the ship closer. This one is still alive. Conway, Nia kisses her teeth. Corporate scum. You glance over at her and see the fire in her bright eyes. They don't even dare to come here and force us out themselves. It's all proxies and drones. She shakes her head. Typical core-bred cowards. Run into them before? She glances at you. I might say that. She looks over at the drone. You won't see me taking my eyes off that thing for a second. Seraphin carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. The system is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. Rare to see one out in the belt, though. Maybe got hit during a run-in with Senet Stat Mercs. It looks like it's drifting. Most of the system is blown out. But look, there. He jabs a finger towards the red light on the far side of the drone. Still broadcasting, maybe even receiving. Can it attack us? Unlikely. Seraphin smiles. Wouldn't blast us already if it could. Comforting. Nia looks nervous. Seraphin brings you ever closer. What I remember from the Darkside job is that the central core and the broadcasting array need to be shut off to kill these things. Core will turn off local systems, and the broadcasting array will sever the link with the Conway operators. Seraphin swallows, but you can bet those systems are protected. Let Seraphin explain. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. The thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper, he frowns. We go slow and careful. We don't touch anything we don't know about. He turns back to Nia. You hear that? I got you. She looks sincere. Seraphim brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross through open space to reach the hull of the drone. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock prayer. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system, the war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of the conflict, the biggest danger is that there's float SAM and the jet SAM drifting in with the tides and orbits of the system might one cycle bring the war with it. For now, the belt is outside of its reach, but looking out at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Welcome to your first contract. While on a contract, you'll be able to assign 2 dice for each crew member as you would assign your own dice. Pay attention to the crew's skills to use them effectively. On certain outcomes, crew will take crew stress. When their stress is full, you will no longer be able to use them to perform actions. On a contract, your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle that you have available supplies. When your supplies are depleted, both you and your crew will take 1 stress per cycle. Contracts also have their own contract stress. When this bar is filled, the contract will fill. Good luck. Okie dokie. So, let's click on the whole damage. Okay. Identified route. It might be possible to slip through the gap in the drone's damaged hull, but once inside, where to go, how to find the broadcasting array. Create opening. There's a gap where the drone is sustained some damage. With a lot of effort, it might be possible to pry away the plates and create entry point. Broadcasting access. Right to below, you say? Cool. Reprogram hatch. Yeah, none of us are doing that one. With the drone in such a reactive state, ready to fry itself in defense, perhaps reprogramming the hatch to open up to the crew is the best approach. Release the hatch. The drone is in delicate state, and any damage could cause it to trigger its self-destruct. It will take skill to release the access hatch. Control access getting inside the drone requires care as much as force. Conway is highly protected for their priority systems. I'm gonna throw. Please, please, please be neutral. Please be neutral. Crazy as you will have a higher chance of taking damage here. Ay ay ay. Why'd you do that to me, game? It's not fun. We're cool. Yeah. Throw her. Yeah, on the identify route. Okay. Please, don't be stressed. Ah, good. Oh, bless. Yes, that is. I'm just gonna. We did as much as we could this cycle. End the cycle. Yeah. New day. Oh my god, Seraphim has 2 6s. That is amazing. I was really hoping. Whatever. We'll do that. Okay, we did it. Drone, you hear the beeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. Guys, his voice comes hissing through the suit's comm channel. Does anyone else hear that? Because I'm getting nervous. How would you hear the beeping? It doesn't have an atmosphere, so there's no... Shit! Seraphine's voice joins her. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Seraphin has dropped his voice to whisper as if that might make a difference. Either this thing is about to send out a distress call or it's about to blow. We've got to shut this system down fast. He pauses. Then we move on to the other ship because I bet there's a surprise waiting for us there too. We good? Nia sounds tense. Am I heading back to the ship or what? Seraphin cuts in. We're good. We keep going. He shuts off the channel. We take a moment in the silence. Alright, time to deal with this fast, then get over to the other side before something happens. Oh my god. Oh no! Dude. God. Oh. Blessing. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Screw you, Gabe. Okay, cool. Okay, so encircle. Oh, those are some good dice. Okay. While concentrating, use your push ability to give you an edge in a tricky situation. Push requires one stretch, but will give you a key advantage based on your chosen class. You can see your current push configuration if you hold your mouse over the button. Your push can be upgraded and configured in the character screen while not on a contract. What is a push? Plus one stretch just to the lowest crew dice. That doesn't help me. I mean, oh, beautiful. Please give us 2. That's it. We did it. Oh, so stressful. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphin and Nia and share a smile. You all exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. One less piece of Conway shit to worry about, Nia grins. We killed it. Don't get too excited, Seraphin cuts in. It was looking pretty rough when we got here. You make your way back out to the hall. The drone now faintly rolling in one direction, its stabilizers offline. Nia catches up with you as you glide towards the rig. We had a pretty good crew, Sleeper. No, we did. We did. Nia grins widely. She punches you on the arm, playfully. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the dark hull of the drone. It catches light as it rolls in the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed to pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt, spread across this place as twinkling dust. The thought pleases you. As does the thought of all the cryo export now owes you. Time to go collect. Yeah, we did it! The contract is concluded. You can leave via the map. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you'll not be able to return. Yep, leave. After docking to export, Seraphin lets go of the controls and leans back in his chair. Nia leans over to you. Thank you, Sleeper. She stretches. I know you took a chance on me. Glad to have you. Nia smiles, an infectious smile. Feels good to make a contract work. Seraphin smiles, no matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree, and it feels better when the export courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lane may still be hunting you, but this should help the effort to slip his net. Suddenly you hear a familiar voice. Nia? Ben glides into view, approaching from the docks. He fixes you with a stare. What are you playing at, Sleeper? I don't want to be rude to him. Because he's really nice. So I'm gonna go this way. Nia wanted to come. You go to speak when Nia drifts forward, cutting you off. Don't come throwing your weight around, Fem. I can make my own decisions. She glances back at you. Sleeper took me at my word, and I'm grateful. Fem is fuming. Did they now? He turns to you. Well, if you are working for Sleeper, I hope they paid you well. He looks, well, I asked, so... Fem smiles. Oh, so they aren't paying you. Serene crosses arms. Let's keep this civil. He realizes this is the first time he is meeting Fem. Fem? Fem? Fem. If we are being civil, seems like Nia's owed her share. Fem fixes you with a severe look. I'm gonna pay her. Like I said, I do not want him to be angry with me. You grab a third of the chits from the lockbox and hold them out to Nia. She takes them sheepishly. Alright then, Fem smiles. We're good here. He turns to leave. Nia mouths a sorry and follows Fem across the docks. Seraphin watches them go. You sure know how to pick 'em, Sleeper. He shakes his head. He turns away and heads back along the docking bridge. I just hope we aren't going to end up 70 cryos short when we need to get out of here. Ooh, I did it. You've just completed a drive and an upgrade points. You have push upgrades available. Go to the character screen to the right. Do you see that? Push upgrades. I'm gonna keep my points for now. And that is also where I think I'll be leaving this video, because I've been playing for an hour and a half now, and God, it's just as fun and stressful as the first game. I cannot wait to play more of this. So I guess that's it for this video. So I will see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.